Hi guys, welcome to another Corbett Gaming Achievement walkthrough. This is for the Skulls, Terminals, and Toys in chronological order in Halo 2 Anniversary. Keep in mind you must be playing on Legendary difficulty for all of these skulls except the Blind Skull.
For the first one, we're going to load the Armory. Wait outside the elevator until he says, "Would it help if I said please?" Once he says this, you're going to hop on board the elevator, ride it all the way to the end up here, and just off to the right, you can see it already. The skull is sitting on top of a box. You're just going to hold down the pickup button as you pass by, and you'll grab it on your way past. This is the "That's Just Wrong" skull.
Can put a round clean through a Covenant capital ship. Coordinated fire from the Athens and the Malta. Nothing's getting past this battle cluster in one piece.
Our next item is the terminal in Cairo station. In this room where the floor opens up to let you in, head over here to this side of the room and you'll find the first terminal of the game. In the very next room after that terminal, you're going to find the Thunderstorm skull. What you're going to need to do is hop up onto one of these small ledges and then either do a grenade jump or what I do is a crouch jump to get up to the upper level. Once you get up here to the upper level, head down to the end, jump up onto the trolley tracks, and just on the other side of those, behind a garbage can, you will find not only a cigar, but also the Thunderstorm skull.
Where are you? The bomb is right here.
Next up is the Blind Skull on Outskirts. Right at the start of the level, you're just going to jump onto this little light fixture and then turn around and head down this little alleyway here and you'll find the Blind Skull. This is the only one that can be gotten on any difficulty other than Legendary. Next up on Outskirts is the I Would Have Been Your Daddy skull. Now there's some confusion about this one. Some people think that you need to trigger 7 specific checkpoints. I too was one of those people, but that is not the case. The only thing that is necessary for this skull is that you trigger the audio sequence at Sniper Alley, which I will be showing momentarily. Other than that, the skull spawn is just random, so if you hear that audio and the skull isn't there, just restart the level and try again. I'll return you to the game audio now so that you can hear the audio cue that is necessary for the skull to spawn.
Sergeant, I need you on that bird.
And that's it. If you hear that audio cue about her saying, "Sergeant, I need you on that bird," then the skull has a chance to spawn, but the spawn is random, so if it isn't here, just restart the level and try again. Once you get the skull to spawn, make sure you trigger another checkpoint, which is what I was doing there, so I got that checkpoint down by the box, because when you pick up the skull, you have to fight, and you might die before you get the achievement. Just survive this segment for a few seconds and your achievement should unlock. Hopefully you got an additional checkpoint after the skull spawned, just in case you do die here. But other than that, it's pretty simple. It's just a random spawn.
A little further on in Outskirts, just before you head into the tunnel, there's a small building off to your left here, and this is the location of the terminal in the level. As you can see, I'm using the Scarab skull to go through these skull locations just to make my life a little easier and the video making process just a tad bit quicker. Next up on Metropolis, we have the Catch skull. What you're going to want to do is have the Sputnik skull activated and head up into this area just before you have to fight a Wraith. You're going to do a grenade jump with Sputnik to launch yourself up onto this little catwalk here. Follow it all the way up to the top. At the top, you're going to take a left and go around to the other side of that tall structure. And just on the other side, you will find the Catch skull. Once you get the Catch skull activated, you're going to want to hop on board the elevator and head over here to this side of the room. Head over here to this side of the room and you'll find the first terminal of the game. A little further on in Metropolis, you're going to meet up with the Marines again inside this building, and this is just before you meet the Scarab as well. And right here you'll find the terminal just inside the front door of the building, off to your left. Next up on the Arbiter level, we have the terminal. It's in this room with the blue conveyor belts, and just before you exit the room, head up this ramp on the right hand side, and you'll find the terminal right here next to the exit door. And now on the Arbiter level, we are going to get the Grunt birthday party skull. This is going to be the first time you board into a Banshee to give chase in this level. You'll also get the Dirty Bird achievement if you're playing on Legendary because it spawns Heretic Banshees. But go ahead and hop into the Banshee, fly all the way down here to the bottom, and in the middle of the three structures at the bottom of the map, you're going to look underneath and you'll find the Grunt birthday party skull. Next up is the Oracle level. On this part where you go into a large room and fight a metric ton of flood forms, go ahead and drop down to the lower level, and just off to the left around the corner you're going to find the terminal. The skull on this level is also in the exact same room. It's the Famine skull. You're going to need to do a grenade jump to get to it, and if you want to use Sputnik, that will make your life easier to make this grenade jump possible. In this particular run through, I don't believe I had the Sputnik skull activated. Go ahead and toss a plasma grenade down, hop up onto this ledge, and there you have your skull just to the left. On Delta Halo, now, you're going to find the terminal right here in the same room that you activate the bridge. So this one's pretty much not impossible to miss, but pretty hard to miss. To get the toy on Delta Halo, we're just outside of that same building with the terminal and the bridge mechanism. You're going to turn around and head back up to the start of the level almost. Make sure you grab a ghost to do this because you're going to need the ghost to get around this cliff. It's also easier to do this particular segment in classic mode just because you can't quite see the actual geometry when you're playing in anniversary mode. So it's easier to make it around this cliff, especially when some of these ledges are pretty steep in classic mode so that you can actually see where you're driving. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video a little bit here because this is, even in a ghost, quite a lengthy little jaunt around here. Somehow managed to recover that roll and not roll down to my death. And you're just going to keep going all the way around this lake here, all the way out to the Lover's Point, lookout point on the end here. And you're going to find the toy. Make sure to switch back into anniversary mode to pick it up right here on the very end. Last up on Delta Halo, we have the Envy Skull in this large rock/pyramid area in the middle of the level. You're going to clear out all the enemies, head over here to the far side up against the barrier that drops down to the water. Hop up here, back up a little bit, get yourself lined up, do a grenade jump. Once again, Sputnik makes this much easier. And right up here you have your Envy Skull. Next up on Regret, we have the toy for the level first, and this is just before you get on the gondola for the first time. Again, use Sputnik to make your life easier. Launch yourself over to this building over here, and you actually need to be on the upper ledge of the building, so you may need to launch yourself over and then do another grenade jump to get up here to this upper ledge. follow it around to the back of the building, and you have your toy.
Next up on Regret, right after that first gondola ride previously, we're going to use the Sputnik skull to launch ourselves up on top of the building. You can get up here by going inside the building and climbing up, but I just prefer to use Sputnik and Scarab to make all these easier. Head to the back of the building, and you will find the skull sitting between two cloaked elites.
And on Regret, just a short while later, you're going to come into this large room with lots of jackal snipers if you're playing on Legendary. Right over here by this humongous hologram, after I kill this sniper, you're going to find the terminal. It's just behind the large hologram on the pillar. Pretty easy to find as long as you look for the hologram. Next up on Sacred Icon, you're going to reach this electrified bridge area. Go ahead and cross the bridge. Head over to your left here, and once again, we're going to do a Sputnik grenade jump up onto that upper ledge. Get up here to the upper ledge, head down to your right, and not the first or the second, but the third alcove on your left. You're going to find the toy sitting up inside of it. Enemies were nice enough to light the area for me. Just a short while later, we're going to find the Mythic skull. You're going to see this set of boxes as you come into this room. After dropping down one of the vent shafts, go ahead and hop up onto it. You could always do another Sputnik launch if you need to. Head over here to this alcove on the right-hand side, and there you have your skull. And continuing on in Sacred Icon, you're going to drop down into this area with a skybox on the outside. Head over to the right side and you'll find your terminal just over to the right from when you drop down. Pretty easy one to find. For the Sputnik skull, it's at the very start of Quarantine Zone. Just do a 180 from the very beginning. I had cut that part out of my video. Anyway, do the 180, head down the tunnel, keep on going after you exit the tunnel, follow it all the way to the end of this ledge here, and you will find the Sputnik skull floating out at the end. As you can see, the game didn't want to give me the achievement for some strange reason. Just had to pick it up a second time and fiddle with it for a minute to get the achievement to unlock for me. Continuing on in Quarantine Zone, you will find the terminal. When you enter this room that looks like it's on fire, just head over to the other side from where you enter and you'll find the terminal right underneath the ledge. Pretty hard to miss this one. And lastly, the toy on Quarantine Zone is at the very end of the level after you finish the gondola ride. Not quite sure what I was trying to do there. You're just going to want to use the Sputnik skull once again. Do a little grenade jump up onto that upper ledge on your right hand side. And you'll find the toy sitting right up top. Next up on the Gravemind level, we're actually going to find all three items in this same room. I'm just going to jump up onto this rock, give you an idea where I am. Terminal is right down here to the right, pretty easy to locate. When you get to the exit of this room, if you haven't found it, just turn back around and follow along the wall to your right when facing back into the room from the exit. The toy and the skull are pretty easy to find as well. From the terminal, you're just going to hop up onto these rocks. Use these to get up onto the upper perimeter ledge up above. This doesn't require any grenade jumps or tricky jumping skills or anything like that. It's pretty simple. On this upper ledge, you're going to follow it all the way around the room. I take a peek to the left here just so you can get an idea of where I am. That's the next room you go into. And a peek to the right so you can see the room that I'm currently in. Keep on following this ledge all the way down to the end. There is a fuel rod grunt down here, so go ahead and take him out. Now this area down here where the doll is very dark. It's partly because of just the level itself being dark, and partly because of those scarab shots kind of blackening the area around the doll. But needless to say, all you have to do is walk onto the doll and you'll get it anyway. And right there behind the doll is the anger skull, so just hop up there and pick that up while you're here and get all 3 achievements in one room. Next up we have the toy on the Uprising level. This is probably one of the most complicated ones in the game, right up there with Delta Halo. When you first come out of the building into this outer area, head up onto this ledge to the right. I went into classic mode here just because it's easier to see the barriers where you're at. Do a grenade jump to get up onto the upper area. Once again, Sputnik helps quite a bit with this. And as you can see down to the left, there's where I came from. Over here to the right, just directly across from that, you're going to take a peek down over the ledge and see the next area of the level over there. See that sniper that I take out? That's actually where we want to go. So just follow along to the right here until you can drop down onto that lower ledge, which is right here. Got a few enemies there to make sure I don't get sniped or something. There are quite a few snipers in this valley, so you have to be a little bit careful. Anyway, head on down to where that sniper, that first one that I killed, was, and from where he was standing, hop up onto this upper level, take a right and follow this all the way around. You're going to keep the valley that you actually go through when progressing normally off to your left as you're going up around this upper area, just so that you keep your bearings and don't wind up lost, because it's quite an extensive area up here outside of the map that you can wander around on endlessly for hours. And you're just going to keep following along this ledge another 20-30 seconds or so, and you'll come around into this open area. Right at the end of this open area up against the wall is the doll for the level. Quite a lengthy one. Hope you found it okay. Next up is the terminal on Uprising. If you get to the room that has all the weapons in it there, I call it the Armory of the level, just turn around and head back the way you came towards the beginning of the level. And check behind these pillars here to your left as you come out, and you will find the terminal for this level. Once again, using the Armory room as a base of reference, you're going to grab the skull for this level, which is the Ghost Skull. So from the Armory room, you're going to go out the opposite side where you would progress in the level. And where I'm looking right now up there, that's where the skull is. So use a plasma grenade and Sputnik to launch yourself up here. And pretty easily grab the Ghost Skull. Next we have the toy on High Charity in this room with this weird little random arch of rock in the middle of the room, and you're going to hear Gravemind speaking to you as you progress through this room. Go ahead and clear out all the enemies and head over here to the opposite side of the room. Now I'm going to hop up onto this middle area here just so that I can look at the doll before I get it so you can see exactly where it is, right up there on the top of that arch. Trimmed out a little bit of the video and just climb up this arch here. It doesn't take any special grenade jumps or anything. You can just jump your way up it and you'll eventually get up to the top and grab the doll. A little while later on High Charity, we're going to find the terminal and the Iron Skull inside this purplish pink door here. First is the terminal. It's just off to your left as you enter. So go ahead and head over there and grab the terminal. After you get the terminal, you're going to turn around, go on past that energy sword that's oh so tempting in the middle of the room. And on the other side of the room, there will be an exit door leading to a gravity lift. Now, the iron skull is actually in the middle of this gravity lift, so make sure you're holding your pickup button. For me, it's B because I play bumper jumper, but it's probably X for you if you're default. Make sure you're holding that down as you go up this, and you will pick up the skull on your way up the lift. We have the terminal on Great Journey. It's in this room where you free all your fellow Covenant prisoners. On the upper level here in this second room to the right is where this terminal is. At the very beginning of Great Journey, make sure you kick your buddy out of his vehicle so that you can save it for later to get the toy. I'm speeding up the video a little bit because it takes forever to kill this guy on Legendary. Once you kill him, go ahead and grab his vehicle, drive it over here to the far side and just park it somewhere safe and sound. And you're going to be coming back later to grab it, but you don't actually have to keep it with you. So go ahead and get to the part where you meet up with the Scarab and just grab a Banshee, fly all the way back to the beginning of the level. You don't have to worry about killing all these enemies. You may have to kill one right here at the end, just so he doesn't destroy you when you get in your vehicle. And go ahead and hop in, take this bad boy and slide down the cliff so you don't die on the way down. And speed right on past these enemies. Now this guy usually was upside down for whatever reason. I think because I was skipping ahead in the level so fast. And the great thing about this bad boy is that you can just drive right through the water. No need to worry about dying. And you can also climb pretty steep cliffs, which is, I think, the only way to get this toy. Because the cliff back here on the way back of the level is extremely steep, and there's a barrier so you can't really fly a Banshee out here, which makes me think that probably the only way to get this toy is to bring this thing back here with you and use its uncanny ability to just climb vertical walls like it's nobody's business, to climb right up to the top of this mountain. And when you get to the top up here, you're going to find the last toy in the game sitting all safe and sound in a place that no one would ever think to go when playing through the game. Now, I cut out on the video here, but you will actually unlock 2 achievements when you pick this up if you've gotten every toy throughout the game up to this point. And we're back to the same spot on the Great Journey, this time in a Banshee and going to the left side of the building instead of the right to grab the skull. Just hop out of your Banshee when you hit that barrier there. Follow around the ledge to the back of the building, and when you get to this very back ramp, just jump up onto it and run right up to the top, and you'll find your very last skull in the game, the Black Eye Skull.
And that's going to do it for all of the collectibles in Halo 2 Anniversary. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your Halo playing. Thanks guys, and have a wonderful day.